Hello everyone, this is Abhignya from CSC 8. Now, my topic is to implement generic classes and methods. Before going to implement them, let's discuss what is generics and how we can implement them further. So, here let's take a class A. In that, we have declared an instance variable which is of type integer. So here B can accept 12 like that, integers and all. It cannot accept this variable, it cannot accept this value as this is a float, or it cannot accept, let's take a big now. It cannot accept this also because it's a string. It can only accept 1, 2, like that, integers only it can accept. It's an instance variable. So here what's happening is like if we want to have a variable, if we want to have a if we want to declare this as a string, so we have to rewrite it. So similarly, if we want to, if b is a float value, then we need to rewrite it as a float. So this is here, this is a small code, it's fine. But what about for the long code? It becomes complex when you are redeclaring the variables. So here the concept of generics arises, right? What is a generic, or what is generic class, or what is generic interface, like that? Generic classes and generic interfaces are similar. Both are called as parameterized types. Generic class is a type safe because it is specially designed to act upon the objects. So here we cannot use the primitive data types over here. So let me give a small sample of code. Let's say my generic t, and then t object, it's some variable. Let's say here t is a type of object. Here t can be anything. It can be a string, it can be a integer, it can be anything, any data type. So this is applicable for any data type. We use generic classes to avoid this type of this type of complexities. Here we need not to declare uh, integer, float, like that. It accepts all the data types. So it another way we can write is, suppose in Java we have a class called array list. Array list. Then here we can write as integer. Here capital I, as integer is a class, wrapper class, and let's say a variable new array list. Here this is similar to how we declare a class, but the only difference is like here we are declaring this. Here we are declaring the type. This t is here integer. We are declaring specifically. Let's say, let me give you another example of it. Let's discuss one thing. Here I'm creating a class called generics, public static void main string. Yeah. So let's say we have a class called array list A equal to new array list, new array list. So actually, I forgot to do one thing here. Like I need to import java.util.utils package. Java.util.start. So now let me add 45 into the array list. It's an integer, right? And now let me try to print this B with this value, right? A dot use a method called get of 0. A dot add, let's say 28. Now let's try to print this out. Print element. Let's save this. Let us try to run this. Java C generic dot Java. See, you are getting an error because incompatible tags. Why? What could be the reason over here? It's because A is a it's because A is an object of this class array list. So here A is an object. A is not integer. So that's why we are getting an error. If we want this to be an error free, we need to have a we need to use a concept called typecasting over here. So let's have a typecasting. Let's check if any error will get or not. Actually, I didn't save. That's why we are getting errors. Let's check it. Let me check it. So here now let us have a generic parameter as integer. Let us compile it and run now. Java generic 45. Yes. If we observe, it reduces our complexity over here. I hope you have understood about generic classes. So now let's have a implementation part. Okay. So now let's try to trace out this program by what I have said before. So here I have declared a generic class, and this is our T. This is our T, and this is we have declared this T type data as a private, data is a variable here, and now it has a constructor which is declared as public, and this of type T, this data of type T. Now here we are using this dot data equals to data. We are storing it in this variable, and now T dot get data is also a method. This will return the data. So coming to here, any program will start with the main method. Here generic. Here what we are doing is like initializing this generic class with the integers. This object is nothing but it will store integer object only. It does not store any other object. If you want, we can write here also integer. This is optional for us. And coming to here, integer dot object, this object dot get data. This will return 5 as a output because you're calling this method in this generic class itself. And coming to this also works similarly with this, but only difference is that here this object is a string, this object is an integer object, and this object is a string object. That's the only difference. Here we are declaring this as a string. Here we are declaring it as an integer. Integer is a wrapper class. Now let's have a look on generic methods. So actually, it is very similar to our another codes. Like we use basically we use a return type for every method. We will be using a return type like integer, string, like that. Here we are just using this, and here any data type it will accept it. So this is a class. We will come here, and print array is the method name of it. Here we are declaring the, here we are directly declared the array of integers, and we are calling this. This is a for each loop we have used over here, and this will print the elements of this array. That is how this program works. Now let's execute this and check it, whether this program is running or not. Java C generic dot Java. Java generic. Yeah. So if you observe over here, here we have given the parameter as a 5. Means here our data is 5. And next we are returning this data from here. So our output is here 5. Similarly, we have for a string type, same, we have declared string, and now string object dot get data, it will retrieve this data, the value that we have given, pass it through this parameterized constructor have been evoked here. So that's how it works. Now let me discuss about the advantages of the generics. By using the generic classes or generic methods, the code can be reusable. If it's a long code, we cannot write like string b as a integer b. We cannot rewrite always. So by using generics, reusability increases. Reusability of that particular program increases. As I have before said, it is also type safe because any data type we can use. And compile time check can also be done using generics. That's how it works. Thank you. I hope this you have learned something. Thank you.